included Stephen Cupp, Ron Frost, Craig and Linda Hicks, Ed Stiglitz, and I lost my voice already, Juliana and Michael Stratton. Take-in assistance was by Juliana and Michael Stratton. I collected the entry fees. I'm your announcer. Our print handlers this evening are Paul Bissett and Craig Hicks. Mary Sheets is our scorekeeper. Juliana Stratton will be recording merits, and Daphne, I never can pronounce her last name. Daphne's doing our ribbons tonight because I drafted her. In our judging panel this evening, we have in chair 1, Alan Duff. In chair 2, Leslie Gertie. In chair 3, Jerome Hamilton. Chair 4, Harry Guman. Chair 5, Ed Stiglitz. And in chair 4, Harry Guman, and chair 5, Ed Stiglitz. I can't count either. We have 21 members enter 54 images in 27 unique categories. If you will, please make sure your cell phones have been turned to either mute or off, which I have done myself. Cell phone.
Before we start this, is everybody signed in?
Okay. I have to get married before we can start.
Yes, what else?
Two.
We'll be starting with judges 2, 4, and 5 for our first categories. Oh.
Took me a week to
Here it is.
go and visit them.
Okay. We're ready? All right. We're going to be starting this evening with intermediate color commercial. For all your banking needs. Are we not working?
Are we up and running?
Everybody punch in?
We can't see, I can't see the score.
No.
You want to reset, Mary?
Click on reset voting. Try it again.
Stephen, are these turned off?
No, it's on.
Wrong one?
You just have to reset, hit the set the keypads.
Do what?
They gotta set up the keypads again.
There's the keypad.
Okay, I just turned it off and on, I see it off, that's fine.
So maybe I need to turn mine off and on.
No, don't turn them off.
No, don't.
Try it again.
Stephen had them on tonight.
Not working? I had those days with
Joe, pass them to Stephen. I have a feeling.
most
Saw him cast a roll.
Maybe it's us, and not your own deal with it.
We got the photograph price right after the snowstorm.
So,
About a week or so ago, it was great.
it's cold up there.
Oh, yeah, we stayed over.
You just need to touch it.
The wind was blowing the snow so bad.
Was it too?
Yeah, it was.
All right, let's try that again, please.
Oh, yeah, microphone, you know.
Oh,
I'm the low score. What I like about this image is the color on it is very nice and it's very clear. But being commercial, you need like some space, as I understand it, to be able to put the copy somewhere. So that's sort of why I scored it for that.
Yeah, I scored it an 8 because I think I could see this on the cover of a, like a stock brochure or something like that, that they would use for their public stuff. And I think there's plenty of space in the middle to write everything, leaving the Bank of America on the top and the bottom.
The image received a 23. It was the only image in the category. Same judges, please, for advanced color commercial, fashion in the jungle.
I'm a low scorer this time. I just think that if we're selling the dress, that I don't see how the dress flows when she's standing by her sitting down like that. And I think it doesn't help sell the dress, was the reason I marked it down.
The image received a 23. It was the only image in the category. Same judges one more time for intermediate color creative. Populus tremulodis exaggerated. I didn't write the title.
One of the short ones.
I was the low score, and I mean, I can sense some treatment, but I couldn't really appreciate how it is actually enhancing what the original picture was.
The image received a 23, was the only image in the category. We'll do judges 1, 3, and 4 this time for advanced color creative, sunflower.
too much. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, sorry, I can't see the thing over there. I like this a lot. I think the maker did a good job by putting this bullseye right in the middle. I love the texture with the leaves. I was kind of stricken if I like the fall off on a couple of the leaves on the outside, but I don't think it bothered me that much. I think the shiny look of the display is good. It's kind of hard to see in here. It kind of shines on top. But other than that, overall, I think a good exposure and everything's really nice.
The image received a 25. Same judges, same category. Look into my eyes.
All right, this image has immediately a lot of impact. The colors, the striking face and eyes, that's all just really strong. The creativity actually makes me kind of dizzy, but I'm not sure if I'm spinning or what, but I like the middle really a lot.
The image received a 23. Judges, you have 2 images to review for placement, starting with look into my eyes and going back 1 to sunflower. Judges, a 1 or a 2, please, for sunflower. And the judges have chosen sunflower. We'll be using judges 2, 3, and 5, please. For advanced monochrome creative, shadow play.
I really like the way the shadows of the fence, the angle, it just leads you right into and through the picture. And I like the treatment of the grass.
The image received a 24. Same judges, same category, sacred sanctuary.
I love the color tone to this. That's what draws me in the most, even though the arches draw me in the image as well. I like that a lot. Everything looks very, straight up and down, sequential with the lines, except that line on the floor, and that kind of draws me away. And I know that might be kind of petty, but in advanced, it is kind of a hindrance in my eyes. So I did score it an 8. But I think it's a lovely image.
Yeah, I gave it a 9. The color tones are fantastic. It has that feeling of an old hand-colored image.
The image received a 25. Judges, you have 2 images to review for placement, starting with sacred sanctuary and going back 1 to shadow play. Judges, a 1 or a 2, please, for shadow play. And the judges have chosen sacred sanctuary. Same judges, please, for master monochrome creative. Look closely.
I look really close, I still see a flux capacitor. It's what it looks like. Nice blacks, nice whites, a very interesting image. Something that if you saw hanging in a display somewhere, you would stop and actually look at.
I do want to say something. I like the layout. I don't focus any one place, so I'm kind of moving around the lens, the image a lot. That didn't draw my score down. This may have gotten a 9 if it had a dark matte. And the reason I'm saying that is because the whites are darker, they're not bright whites, and most of the image is dark, and I think with a dark matte around it, it would have drawn me in more, because I think the white kind of takes away from it just a little bit.
The image received a 25 and was the only image in the category. Judges 2, 4, and 5, please, for advanced color documentary, fence post perch.
Advanced color documentary.
I think this is a great category for this image. It documents what it's like driving around in the West very well. It's a great picture of a hawk. The eye is clear and in focus. The background is out. I didn't quite give it a 9 because it just needs a little bit more pop. I mean, time of day, it would have helped, but you take these pictures when you can, so that's the way it is.
Image received a 25. Sheep on the edge.
I like that there's 3. I like the way they're spaced. I like the composition with the 2 in the PowerPoint corner and the diagonal line. I get the feeling that this picture is not doing this justice, because when you look at the animals themselves and the way that their muscles are bunched and the way they're leaning, I have a feeling that this cliff is a whole lot steeper than it appears in the image.
Image received a 25. Old 93.
I like the composition and the color tones. The eye goes where I think it should go, towards the front, and then the back end is a little bit darker. So I think it's exposed well. So pretty much.
The image received a 25. Judges, you have 3 images to review for placement, starting with Old 93, going back 1 to sheep on the edge, and going back 1 to fence post perch. Judges, a 1, 2, or 3, please, for fence post perch. Sheep on the edge. 93. And the judges have chosen fence post perch. Those of you who are standing, if you want to pull a chair up and get closer where you can see without standing, I don't think anybody bites. I could be wrong, but I don't think anybody does. For our next category, which is Master Color Documentary 5, please. So this is Master Color Documentary, Crossing Under the Bridge.
All right, I'll start out. I was the high scorer here. I just love the color tone of this. Until it's late afternoon, sun's very red. I like the diagonal of the boat. I like the framing of the bridge here. So I think the sky adds to it too, so it's very well done.
The image received a 24. It was the only image.
I'll talk real quick, just because I'm the low. I love the layout, I love the slimline print, what am I trying to say? Presentation, slimline presentation. Where I had a problem is a master category. When I'm looking at the bridge, I understand this is, warm tones in the low sun, that's why you're getting the orange. But I think this could have been handled a little bit better on the print or on the exposure, because it looks like it's blowing out those red highlights.
Bless you. Image still received a 24 and is the only image in the category. Same judges, please, as we move on to advanced color, nature, wildlife, ocean relaxation. Did I skip something? I did. Desert cardinal, let's try this instead. This is intermediate color, nature, wildlife. I'm skipping categories. And this is desert cardinal.
Paul's still confused.
Not desert cardinal?
Number 13, the next one in line.
Yes. That's a 13. What does it say?
That's a different category.
I'm usually confused.
No. I need to straighten that one out.
Okay.
Do you remember the judge?
I mean, it's not me.
No. This really is desert cardinal.
Okay, what category and all that again, please?
This is intermediate nature wildlife color.
Okay, where do we begin? Impact, wow. Composition, diagonal lines, birds not in the center, it's off to the side. Focus, depth of field, wow. Everything in focus from the bottom of the branches to the top, the whole bird. Catch light in the eye, there. Presentation, perfect. Yeah, there's nothing, this is an incredibly nice image.
Image received a 27. Same judges, same category. Full curl.
What was the title?
Full curl.
Once again, I'm the high scorer. Nobody ever told him not to talk with his mouth full. The only slightly distracting thing is the bush that's slightly in front of the animal, but this is wildlife. You can't run out there and say, please, excuse me, move the bush over. This is really nice. I think I would have liked it a little bit better if it was not centered. And we could have lost the entire, like Jerome is showing, the right side, which would have moved the animal over to the right and taken it out of the center. But this is intermediate. This is really nice.
Image received a 25. Judges, you have 2 images to review for placement, starting with full curl and going back 1 to Desert Cardinal. Judges, a 1 or a 2, please, for Desert Cardinal. And the judges have chosen Desert Cardinal. Judges 1, 2, and 3, please, for advanced color, nature, wildlife. Ocean relaxation.
I really like this picture, and I like in the composition that the one that's looking at us is slightly off dead center, but they, having gotten to see otters, they really are neat. Anybody else?
Image received a 26. Outing.
So this is a great image. Congratulations for going there and getting this picture. It's very well done technically. It's sharp, exposures very, very well. My thinking is there's actually 4 different stories here. And so you're not quite sure which story to look at, but I think you could actually zoom in on different parts here and have a little more impact than just looking around at all of the different stories.
The image received a 25. Insightful. There's a technical difficulty with my numbering. I take total guilt on this one, that I have them all screwed up.
What is it?
Insightful is the name.
Ah, wait a minute, there's a little one down here hiding. No?
We'll find it.
no, again, this is just technically perfect, this sharpness. I'd like it zoomed in like this, so there's no distraction in the background. You got good depth of field here with the eyes and the whiskers and the nose all in focus, and the intensity of the eyes. That's what I think is so strong.
The image received a 26. Bald eagle.
No, wow. I was one of the 9s. I really like the composition and the feathers. Everything is really very sharp on this bird. And the angle of the head, the catch light in the eye. I even like the log, the wood he's sitting on. I think the way it comes to a crown there in the middle. Really great shot.
The image received a 26. Newport Harbor sea lions.
Nice action, being able to catch them all kind of talking and chattering there. They're probably yelling at you to get away. No pictures, please, no pictures, please. I like that you left a little bit of room in the front, on the front guy, so that gives him a little bit of direction to look into. Maybe, because it's so tight on the bottom, you could have brought it down a little bit on top. I like that the guys are all at different angles, so good picture.
The image received a 24. Judges, you have 3 images to review for placement. Going back 1 to bald eagle, going back 1 to insightful, and going back 2 to ocean relaxation. So judges, a 1, 2, or 3, please, for ocean relaxation.
Boy, this is tough.
Eeny, miny, moe.
I'm working on it. I can't make up my mind.
Insightful. And bald eagle. And the judges have chosen bald eagle. Judges 1, 2, and 4, please.
4.
We're doing intermediate monochrome people, rain catcher.
Give this to her.
I'm one of the high scores. I really like the composition and the exposure. And I think it's very good impact imaging.
So I think that the technique here, the rain, the umbrella, it's all great. I just think that the lightness on the side of her face is distracting. And it would be a little more consistent, not so bright on the one side. It's not feel real natural.
The image received a 26. It was the only image in the category. Same judges, please, for advanced color people. Fun with Leica.
I think very well exposed and nice composition. For a minute I was thinking, is this like really portraiture or people? Just so that was one of the high scores.
The image received a 26. It was the only image in the category. Same judges, please, for advanced monochrome photojournalism. Drinks at the Venetian.
Is this advanced?
Yes.
One of the low scores, I've eventually found where are the drinks. But otherwise, it's a nice image that wasn't really the subject of whatever the story you were telling.
The image received a 22 and was the only image in the category. Judges 1, 4, and 5, please, for master color photojournalism, team entrance. I screwed up again.
Photojournalism, right?
Photojournalism, yes.
All right, this image has a lot of impact. The red flag, the guy in the back with his arms up, the fog, smoke behind him, it all just goes together really well. It just has a really strong mood to it.
Can I have the mic? The image is spectacular, obviously. I had a bit of a minor thought when I first saw it come up of the image is very heavy HDR kind of look to it. And does that belong in photojournalism where you cannot alter the truth of the image? And I decided it did because you haven't actually erased anything or put anything in. It just, you took the picture in that method to make that happen. And that's the reason why I went ahead and gave it its 9 it deserved.
The image received a 27. Same category, same judges, gold.
Okay, well, we have a goal, we can see the puck, that's very hard to do. I think that it would have helped the image if we would have, I don't know if there's any way it could have been done, that it would have had less other stuff around the image. If we would have had just the guys, but then the goal wouldn't have been in it. Maybe if we were at a different angle, it would have helped or anything else. But I think that's why it suffered and didn't get a higher score, is just because there's too much other distracting things around it, and I really don't know there's any way it could have been fixed.
The image received a 24. Judges, you have 2 images to review for placement, starting with goal and going back 1 to team entrance. Judges, a 1 or 2, please, for team entrance. And the judges have chosen team entrance. Judges 1, 3, and 5, please, for master monochrome photojournalism. Practice makes perfect.
I think this is handled really well. The ice is white without being blown out. The blacks on the stick, the beard, the shoes are blacks, and you have all the shades in between. You see the puck, you see the sticks, you see all 3 sticks, you see all 3 faces. I think this is a great capture.
So, monochrome photojournalism is always kind of strange to me, because you're not taking the reality out of it. When it's monochrome, you are taking the reality out of it. But for a black and white in the fast motion, this is amazing here. It's just sharp, really sharp. Everything in there sharp, and we don't have that distracting background. So really well done.
The image received a 25 was the only image in the category. Judges 1, 3, and 4, please, for advanced color pictorial. Snow at Red Rock Canyon.
So this is beautifully done here. Also, the clouds, amazing, great light and great texture in the clouds. You got some nice light on the foreground here. Again, you can't control this, but it would have had more impact if there had been some of that early morning light on the mountains too.
The image received a 23, same judges, same category, at Lake Mead.
I think it has a good layout, a good genuine composition to it, with the rock and light in the back and the shaded rock in the front. The sky looks a little bit blue, but I'm thinking maybe if that's just a polarizer, that's how it was. Overall, I don't think there's a lot of impact to make it really exciting, but I think it's a good picture.
The image received a 23, Lighthouse Sunset.
I think it's an interesting composition. Your eye does go from one part of the image to the other, but the way that the light is captured out of the lighthouse, I think it's adds to the image.
The image received a 24. Temple of Poseidon, Greece.
And one of the high scores, and I really like how the image is exposed and the time of the day with the sky and the clouds. And one of the things I was specifically looking for is the perspective correction. So it's just a lot of times when you take these pictures, it just the vertical elements tend to get distorted. So I think actually it's shown very well.
The image received a 26. Judges, you have 4 images to review for placement, starting with Temple of Poseidon, Greece, going back 1 to Lighthouse Sunset, going back 1 to At Lake Mead, and going back 1 to snow at Red Rock Canyon. Judges, a 1, 2, 3, or 4, please, for snow at Red Rock Canyon. At Lake Mead. Lighthouse Sunset. And Temple of Poseidon, Greece. And the judges have chosen Temple of Poseidon, Greece. Judges 1, 2, and 5, please. We're moving into Master Color Pictorial. Hawaii.
It's an interesting perspective. You get to see a lot of the land and a lot of the surrounding areas and everything else. Some of the problems, I think it's a little flat. There's not enough pop to it. The mountain in the back, it looks like there's, I don't know if it's fog or smoke or something in the mountain in the background, but it's cut off really tight on top. So it gives me a real crunched, crowded feel. But I think the biggest thing is it just needs more saturation or pop or impact, and it may have just been the time of day and the lighting that just didn't allow you to do it.
The image received a 21. Same judges, same category. The Eye.
I think this is amazing. Turret arch through, I can't remember what the name of the window is in Arches National Park with the moon. I don't, I know you're not supposed to consider what somebody has to go through to get a picture, but in order to get this shot, I've done it at dawn. I mean, you have to sit up on top of this little rock and there's only room for one person. So it is pretty neat to get this shot.
The image received a 26. Judges, you have 2 images to review for placement, starting with the eye and going back 1 to Hawaii. Judges, a 1 or a 2, please, for Hawaii. And the judges have chosen the eye. 2, 3, and 4, please. For intermediate monochrome portraiture. Smile when you say that.
I really like this, the look on his face. It really does go with the title. Anyway, I think it's very well done.
Up top.
Okay, we'll let you.
I guess I'm the one that scored it an 8. I think this is a great job. I so wanted to give it a 9. The finger, that one little finger down there is just like crushing me. Maybe I look at portraits too much, but if you just crop that little part out, I'm sure this would have got a 27.
Bless you. The image received a 26 and was the only image in the category. Same judges, please, for intermediate monochrome still life, anchovy lunch.
Still wildlife, still life.
I'm sorry,
You
what's
said
category
still
and
life?
everything again,
I
please?
said still life.
Okay.
Was it intermediate or?
Intermediate, yes.
Hey, Craig, is that just a little scratch on the front?
No, on the right side of the mat.
Just on the mat, yeah, thanks. I wasn't scoring down for that, I just wanted to wipe it off.
Yeah, it does say still life.
Okay. Still life is, yeah, an arrangement found or made or set up. I wouldn't normally think of this as a still life, and I probably would have scored it down in advanced or master, but as far as the image, I don't know why this wasn't in wildlife or, something like that, because it's a great image. Nice whites through all the feathers, the depth of field, love seeing the action with the fish and the beak, that's great.
Image received a 24 was the only image in the category. Same judges, please, for advanced color still life, wild thistle.
See there, now I'm the high score. I love the layout of this flower. The colors, even the diffused purples in the back, depth of field, all the focus throughout the front and the top, I think it looks great.
I hemmed and hawed between an 8 and 9, and because it was looks pretty dead center to me, and maybe a little bit from the right and left anyway. Or you could have shifted it over one way or the other.
I'm still talking. Actually, I think this, I agree 100% with Leslie. I think if this was bullseye, you might have seen more 9s up there. So, just something to think about.
Image received a 25. It was the only image in the category. Judges 1, 2, and 5, please, for intermediate color unclassified. Ready Train 476.
Reset.
Intermediate, you said?
Intermediate, I said.
So you have a really interesting subject here, and I think the steam really adds to this. You get the feeling getting ready to go here. The engine is very interesting. Some hot spots and some in the shade. And I'm not sure the conductor, whoever that person is, being blurred, I'm not sure if that works or doesn't work. I don't know, but it doesn't make it a 9 for me.
The image received a 24. It was the only image in the category. Judges 3, 4, and 5, please. For advanced color unclassified. The library in Turkey. There's more to the title than that, but my Turkish pronunciations are limited. Euphios, Turkey.
Just do the category one more time, please.
It is advanced color unclassified. That I can pronounce. Gotcha.
I'm in the middle. I like the exposure a lot. The person on the stairs having their picture taken doesn't bother me. It gives it perspective. It helps out the image a lot. I would have liked to have seen the left palm trees gone. I know you can't use a chainsaw, but maybe you could have stepped a step to the left and then framed the picture a little bit more to the right. That building on the right with that arch, I don't know what's on the other side of it, maybe there's more palm trees, but I think I would like to have seen more of that building on the right, and that would have also put the subject, the lady in the dress, a little bit off center. I think that would have helped the image as well. I would also like to comment on the presentation of this image. It's very nice.
The image received a 24. Desert Trails.
I'm the 9. I like it. It's really hard when you're doing star trails to find an appropriate foreground. I think you did a really nice job on this at that. I can't see any dots in the streaks. Maybe I could if I looked up closer, but we're not supposed to. We're supposed to look at it from this viewing distance, and I think you did an excellent job.
Image received a 25. Eye of the marine iguana.
I was right on the edge of getting this an 8, and I know you guys would have thrown me out the back door. This is handled really well. I love the color palette through this whole thing. I can't decide if I like the person in the eye or if I would have liked to have it taken out, and that's kind of where I was at. Everything else, I love it.
I had the same decision I was trying to make, and I decided that it looks a lot like, that's lunch, the person.
The image received a 27. Sea otters.
So great, there are 3 of them, and at least the ones that are visible. There might be one down there. So it's somewhat off-center. The animals are actually quite in focus. The water is a little bit blown out, but that might have been just kind of the time of the day.
The image received a 24. Judges, you have 4 images to review for placement, starting with sea otters, going back 1 to Eye of the marine iguana, going back 1 to desert trails, and going back 1 to the library. The library in Ephesus, Turkey. Judges, a 1, 2, 3, or 4, please, for the library in Turkey. Desert trails. Eye of the marine iguana. And sea otters. And the judges have chosen Eye of the marine iguana. Same judges, please, for advanced monochrome unclassified. Angles and curves.
Title again, please?
Title?
Angles and curves.
think it's very well captured. And for a moment I hesitated around the fence, but it actually fits very well and adds to the picture.
The image received a 25 and was the only image in the category. Judges 1, 3, and 5, please. For master color unclassified, the A10 Warthog.
Thank you. Yeah, well, from my angle, right where the pilot is, there's a hot spot and I can't see it, so I had Craig tilt the image a little bit, and it went away. It's just the way the light's reflecting. The image is beautiful.
The image received a 27 was the only image in the category. We're down to Club Challenge, and our topic this month is fire. Paul, because so many of my images were screwed up and that was my fault, I'm going to run through the titles for you for the category, and let's double check and make sure we've got them in the right order. Flame On,
Yep,
Afterburn,
yep.
and Fire. Okay, so judges 2, 4, and 5, please, for intermediate Club Challenge. Flame On.
We have fire, so it fits the category, and it's interesting to look at, but there's no point of focus and no sharpness in it anywhere.
Image received a 21. Afterburn.
I'm high score. The perspective of looking down at the image or sideways at the image, if he's sideways in a canyon, maybe, I don't know. Doesn't matter. The lighting on the jet I find very nice. I would have loved to have seen it a little larger, but the afterburner with the spots of light in the flame, I really appreciate.
The image received a 23. Firestorm. Everybody in? Okay.
Everybody hit the numbers again?
Try again.
So a very interesting image, I think fits the category. When I was looking at what drew the score down for me, there's like a very splotchy area, like toward the bottom right, and there's some of the rings are not as much in focus, and but at least my eye keeps on going down to the bottom right area where like something is not a ring.
The image received a 24. Judges, you have 3 images to review for placement, starting with Firestorm, and going back 1 to Afterburn, and going back 1 to Flame On. Judges, a 1, 2, or a 3, please, for Flame On. Afterburn. Firestorm. Yeah, I've got somebody gave 2 2s.
Rescore.
So rescore Firestorm.
Firestorm first.
Firestorm first. Now I've got, well. Okay. Afterburn. And Flame On.
I made a mistake.
Yeah, you went, I think,
I went the wrong way.
Okay.
I was thinking that, I'm not scoring, but I thought the same thing.
I went the wrong way on that one.
Okay.
I thought we started back on the right, so.
Okay. We're gonna start on the right
Yes.
This one here?
with Flame On, right?
Still,
No,
Right?
this one here.
That one there?
Okay.
All right. 1, 2, or 3, please.
Hang on.
While Mary's erasing.
Yep.
Okay.
All right. Flame on.
Afterburn. And Firestorm. And the judges have chosen Afterburn.
finally.
Okay. Paul, let's run the titles, just to make sure we're on the same page. Fire Swirl, Fire, Volcano at Mirage, After the Fire, Ring of Fire, Into the Fire, Fiery Evenfall.
What's that?
Fiery Evenfall. Should be a smaller. Oh, it's in back of the box, all the way in back of the box. Okay, we got it. That was,
Answer into the fire.
yes.
Okay.
Okay, judges 1, 2, and 4, please. For advanced challenge. Fire Swirl.
It really is fire, and it's well presented and interesting. I think the black background and then the flames really makes it stand out.
The image received a 24. Fire.
When I first saw it, I wasn't quite sure what we're looking at, and then I think maybe some rocks or some coals, so you're looking between the coals and seeing the fire. So it's interesting, it is fire, it's well done, I just don't think it has a real impact.
The image received a 22. Volcano at the Mirage.
Oh dear.
So, yeah, we can clearly
Flip
flip
it.
it over. Yeah.
Might be a reflection.
It could be.
I had to put it up
I
that
know,
way.
no, you did good.
So it's a real pretty nighttime picture of the strip, and I like that. I just don't think the fire is enough of the image to meet the challenge.
The image received a 22. After the fire.
On one of the low scores on this, somehow it doesn't feel like it meets the category just because of the title, even though it is after a fire happened.
Image received a 23. Ring of fire.
I'm high score on this. I really think it's got a lot of impact. The guy looking, you can see his eyes that catch light anyway, but the ring of fire, I think it's a great shot.
Image received a 25. Into the fire.
I'm high score again. I really think it's very well done, very creative, literally looking into a fire with the charcoal. I could see you sitting by a campfire looking in at this.
Fiery Evenfall.
I love the picture. I think it's beautiful with that sand and the sun and the surfer going in and up here, all good. I just don't think of fire when I see this though.
Image received a 22. Judges, you have 3 images to review for placement. Going back 1 to Into the Fire. Going back 1 to Ring of Fire. And going back 1, 2, 3 to the first one, Fire Swirl.
Man, this is tough.
Okay, judges, we'll start on the right side, but Ed's not judging this time. Judges, we'll start on the right side. A 1, 2, or 3, please, for Fire Swirl. Ring of Fire, middle. And into the fire. And the judges have chosen Ring of Fire. And we're down to Master Club Challenge. And they're in the right order, I can tell from here.
If not, I can find them.
You can. Judges 1, 3, and 5, please. Wildfire.
So this is really what I think of when our challenge is fire. This is a real fire. I think maybe a little quicker shutter speed would have put more texture in the flames. They're a little blurred because of motion, I'm sure.
Image received at 26. Strike 1.
I think this image is clearly an 8. All 3 judges went there. I decided to go 1 extra just because I think this is probably one of the most creative images I've seen tonight for the fire category.
Image received at 25. Burning hot.
Yeah, very well done, very hard photograph to take. It gives you the feel of fire and the warmth of fire. It just jumps off the page at you at that.
Image received at 24. Judges, you have 3 images to review for placement, starting with Burning Hot, going back 1 to Strike 1, and going back 1 to Wildfire. Judges, a 1, 2, or 3, please, for Wildfire. And Strike 1. And the judges have chosen Wildfire.
Just wish didn't have that high.
Thank you, judges. Thank you, competition staff. Remember, if you wish to have a horizontal image hanging down at the hospital, leave it with Mary.
Just,
If